So my name is Aaron,
And I am Christian.
and this is Brain 10, where we discuss 10 things each day about small businesses, tech, or anything that has to do with, I don't know, ideas that we have.
Right. Social media too, because today's social media.
There you go. All right. So Christian wanted to talk a little bit about engagement, to explain to people, what we're talking about exactly with increased engagement on Facebook. So I'll let him kind of go, and then I'll kind of piggyback off of what he's explaining.
Right. So really quickly, what we mean when we talk about engagement is people liking, commenting, sharing your content. So what that means is anyone who sees your stuff doesn't necessarily mean that they're engaging with it. So what we mean when we say engagement, it's that conversation, is that when people start liking your stuff because they feel like it's something. I'm completely butchering this right now because I didn't really prepare at all for this part because I thought we were just gonna skip it. But yeah,
You're fine. No, I think that's you didn't butcher it. I think that's good. The only thing that I would add is just that people have a misconception that if someone is seeing their posts, like Twitter, for example, where you just blast people with a new tweet or new Facebook post or anything like that, and they see that, oh, it reached. If you're a business manager, you can see how many people it's reached. But if 100 people reach it and nobody likes it, nobody interacts with it, nobody comments, then it's basically pointless. And so we're talking about the type of people who actually comment, like Christian said, like and share, because those people genuinely are interested in what you're saying. If you're saying something that's not interesting, people are going to tell you. The market is very real in that sense. So this is a podcast, or a vlog rather, that is going to outline how you can increase, maintain, and capitalize that engagement. So, all right.
On Facebook. So we can move on to number one.
Right. Hold on one second. Maybe I should pause the recording and see if you can get better internet connection. So I'll go ahead and pause it real quick.
We're back. All right. So number one is, do not try to sell to every single customer every single time. Amy Porterfield defines this as two basic posts, which is native and non-native posts. Native posts are those that are non-promotional posts that get people talking. It starts those conversations on Facebook. The non-native posts are those that are promoting your product, you're offering a discount, or something of that sort. There's also a third type of post she calls semi-native posts, and those are when you offer something for free. So maybe a free webinar, a free PDF with some kind of information. So you're providing value to your customers. At the same time, you're getting information from them as far as email, contact information, and phone numbers. So that way you get them through the sales funnel.
Very cool. Yeah. All right. So number two, we're moving on here. And I would say that something that's very important that I've tried to been advocating for all of our clients is video. So it really is that simple. Pictures and text are not going to do as well as video. So if it's on a scale here and you had text being the far left, being the least engagement, pictures being right there in the middle with more engagement, videos are in the far right hidden spectrum that have the most engagement. So I wrote down some examples. So you could do an example, or you can do an example. You could do a Facebook tip each week. You could do a contest. You could even do a video of you going into the office. But if it's engaging, if it's interesting, if it's allowing people to engage or to like see a part of the business, then they'll be interested in that. So if I don't know, for example, if you're going into the office and you had you know, it was raining outside and you took a video saying like, hey, going into the office, it's raining, but, you know, having a great day or something, people are going to be interested in that. It's short, it's to the point, and it's just showing that you're a real person, which we'll get into a little bit later. I think that's another option with that. So
Right.
videos.
Video is king nowadays. I mean,
Yes.
you see it every day with the new apps are coming out. Actually, Apple just announced their top apps for 2015, and the number one app was Periscope. So, I mean, live video and video is just going to take over everything.
Right.
Number 3 is going to be ask questions. So, whenever, depending on the industry that you're in, you want to ask questions that are relevant to that industry. And basically, you know, questions, again, they start that conversation. They start a conversation, and they're super easy to, you know, to do. So you can start a question. You can use images in order to engage customers.
Right.
And questions tend to drive interaction from, you know, 10, 20%. So they're a perfect way to start a conversation on Facebook.
Right. And I think it's something as so simple as like, you know, if you were like a boutique or something like that and you had two different dresses and saying like which, you know, comment which dress you like the best, like that just, right. I mean, just sparks interest with people. If you didn't put a text like that, then they would have probably just looked at it and say like, oh, okay, I'll just like it. But maybe that now this person likes and comments. So this just adds more value. And with Facebook's algorithm, whenever people are commenting with it, it says, oh, this is popular content, so I'm going to show this to more people.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
All right. So with, we kind of got into that whenever Christian was talking about questions. The text is very important. So the way that you write is also important. So if you're a company, make sure that you define yourself as a specific voice and tone, and you're keeping yourself in first person. So if you're, you know, something or a company that's like very upbeat, very happy, very, maybe a funny personality, you want to stay consistent with that across all your mediums, not just Facebook, but throughout all of your posts on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. You want to stay consistent with that, and especially on your Facebook posts, people expect it to be, you know, or they interact with it better, I guess, if it is something that's consistent. If they understand that this person is funny, so I know that I can expect these types of posts from that company. And do you have anything else about that as far as the writing? I think that was number 4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no.
Okay. All right. Number 5 is share stories. So stories help customers engage with your business. It could be, like I gave an example earlier, it's something as small as like, you know, you're traveling to work. It could be what's behind the scenes at work, what's going on as far as, you know, hey, today we have a big project going on, or today we have, I don't even know, trying to think of something that's going on, but basically a behind the scenes picture or a story behind it. So if you have somebody coming in and they're bringing in coffee, you could write a story about, hey, you know, today's Friday. Every Friday we have people who bring coffee, who bring bagels, who bring donuts. We're all about breakfast on Fridays. And if you tell that story, people become more engaged and think that you're actually real. So we often forget that social media is a social aspect. People are going there to socialize and to interact with people. They're not going there to, you know, be sold to. So if you act like a real person and tell those stories, it'll increase engagement.
Right. Yeah, we've talked about this a few times where, you know, people go to Facebook and Instagram and all that. At the end of the day, usually, you know, whenever they're, you know, it's after work and they want to be entertained to some extent. So stories is a great way to get people in the door, you know. So that will bring us to number 6, which is focus on the fans that are paying attention to you right now. So what we mean about that is people who are engaging with your content right now. So liking or commenting on your posts. So you want to make sure that you're answering those comments, make sure that you're keeping the conversation alive, really. By doing so, you are basically telling Facebook, like, look, these people are engaging with my content. I'm engaging back, and they keep doing that back and forth. So that increases the chances of showing up in other people's posts. You see it all the time whenever you like, or a friend of yours likes something, and all of a sudden you have an ad showing up, and it says, "Hey, Aaron Pearson liked this too." That's how Facebook, that's how the algorithm works. So and also you see it with, like, think about the last time you went on Facebook and said something, and a big brand, responded to you. How you felt when that happened. It's that same emotion that people are feeling whenever a brand isn't communicating and conversing with you.
Right. We just don't realize that they're like marketing or they're selling to us, which means that they're doing a good job.
Right.
Like if you're engaging with the people like that, you're like, oh, they're just posting that, but really they're marketing you for the engagement. And, if you do it correctly, that's exactly what you want to do for your customers.
Yeah.
All right. So we are on number 7 here. Make fans part of the something bigger. So if you're able, if you're in like the healthcare industry, this isn't going to apply. But if you're in an industry like food, or if you're in an industry like a marketing company or whatever else, if you're working on a project, if you can take pictures behind the scenes and kind of like get feedback for people, say you're working on a prototype for a new app, and you're like, hey guys, these are the 2 logos we're thinking about for the app. Which one do you like better? And then everyone votes on it. They kind of get updates. And if you give them updates throughout the project, they'll stay engaged with it. And then once the project's actually finished, do like a follow-up picture, like say like, hey, we actually ended up picking this project or this logo. You guys helped pick it. Thank you so much. This causes a sense of like engagement with them. They'll actually seek you out to go and try to find, what's going on with the project. Because if I go and vote on an app and I'm like, ooh, if I help, pick the logo for this app, I want to make sure that, or figure out, when it's going to be done, when it's going to be published, what's going on with it. So once it's actually finished and I'm like, oh, this is the one I've picked, I'm more satisfied. I feel better about it. And this just engages the community. It makes you feel like, they're actually a part of something that bigger that you're doing with them.
Right. Yeah. A lot of these, they seem like they interact with each other. The list that we have here, to some extent. So moving on to number 8 would be, showing some personality and showing some humor. We've actually recently we've been testing on some Facebook ads, but we figured out that one of the ads that we used, a little bit of humor, has been working a little bit better than others. And it's kind of cool. And it goes back to, people want to be entertained. People want to, when they go on Facebook, to some extent, they want to have, that sense of just relaxation. They don't want to be sold. They don't want to have that in your face, buy. So showing a little bit of personality and humor, it's one of the good ways to showing that, you're not just there for their money. You're there for that connection too.
Right. And I think that's a huge point to make. I believe everyone should be on social media as far as a business, but so many people get lost in the fact that I need to send so many conversions from Facebook to my website to purchase. But really, Facebook is a tool to gather information, to have them sign up for something else on your website. It's a different part of the funnel. But if you provide the value for them, they'll easily sign up for something like that later. But if you're just on there selling to them, it's not going to work. Like the pages that you see that do that, they just don't have as high of engagement, and they never really grow. The only caveat to that, I guess, would be like higher brands, like Coca-Cola or big brands who have a big enough following that it doesn't matter as much.
Right.
But if you want to grow it, or with a smaller business. So you just finished number 8, right?
Yes.
Okay, number 9. Bad reviews turn good. So when somebody gets upset or has a bad review on your Facebook page, the best thing you can do is to respond. Just explain to them, hey, I'm sorry. And if they address the issue of like what really happened, explain to them, how to fix the solution, or explain like, what's going on with that. Now, the one way to take it above and beyond that is to actually create a blog post or create a Facebook note and say, here's an issue that other people have been having. Here's the link to it. This will help you. And, more than likely, they're not the only person who have had that issue. So you can tell other people about this blog post, and you're now providing value. So you've turned that negative into a positive. There's going to be mistakes within the business, but if you allow yourself to come up as somebody who's genuinely cares about what they're doing, and now you've provided a solution that's above and beyond what they were expecting, they're going to send more people to that page. And then it just creates customer morale. So anyone who actually sees those customer reviews, they're going to see that you did respond and you did fix the solution. So they're like, well, they gave her a 2-star or a 3-star, but she did fix the solution. So, I'd feel comfortable working with that company now.
Yeah, exactly. And something that I've seen people do, or not people, but other companies do, is use like an automated response, and that never works out good. So you want to make sure that you're genuine when you respond to these bad reviews, and not just leave a hey, we're very sorry about this, please contact our help support team or something like that.
Right. Yeah, 9 times out of 10 that does not work. It's the little bit of effort it takes to respond to somebody that really sets you apart. That's the difference between a good and a great business. So that was number 9. Number 10, I think, is Christian.
All right, so number 10 is in our title we have capitalized engagement on Facebook. So I think this is part of that capitalized part in our title, which is you need to capitalize on the weather or even like events going around in your town. So basically, whenever something, a local event is going on in your town, a lot of people, they don't know, that's going on. So you probably want to be that first one to inform them about that. That creates, return customers. It creates people. It creates that sense of community behind your brand. So the other thing is even like the weather. Whenever the weather is it's snowing outside or raining outside, people tend to stay inside and just scroll through social media. So
right.
That's a great way to take a picture, snap a picture of maybe there's snow outside. So you want to snap a picture of the snow outside, and share that with your following on Facebook. Post it online. Say a thing or two about the storm, and you'll get people talking about it. People love talking about weather. So,
right.
Those are big ways to start conversations on Facebook, and that's what we're trying to do with the engagement.
And I think within that also gets more conversations going about other things. Or now if you become somebody who's interested in that community or as a part of that community, they'll start going to you for those resources. Like, such and such company always has the updates for what's going on in the local events or community. So I want to, check out their page. And I think another misconception is that if you're in a big city like New York or something, that you can't have a community. But every area has a little niched out spot that's like, a 5 or 10 mile radius that you could become an expert on things in that area to help people out with.
Yeah. And then I think the last one, and this is going past 10, it's going number 11. So it's staying consistent, with everything that we've said. You have to stay consistent and don't overdo it. You want to make sure that on Facebook you're posting 1 or 2 times a day. Don't go with the 3 or 4 posts per day because it just becomes annoying. Some big brands, they do get away with it, but then again, they have that low engagement. Okay, so what we're aiming for here is that big engagement, people talking about your stuff. So you want to keep it consistent, and you want to keep it to 1 or 2, maybe even 3 sometimes posts per day.
Right. Okay, so we'll just wrap up. That was number 11. I see Social Media Grabber had a question, so we'll just answer that off the record. So anyone who wants to see that question, this will be, or the YouTube viewers, you can check it out on Blab. But I think that is it. Again, my name is Aaron, and this is Christian. We do
Christian.
Brain 10, so that's 10 ideas that we brainstorm each day about small business, tech, or social media. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.